everyone, and welcome to our fourth and final video using this kit. The inspiration piece was Maggie Holmes' fringe hearts, and so I had a lot of people comment, particularly one of my subscribers, Tracy, and another one of my subscribers, Whimsy Fox, that gave me some great tips and tricks and ideas for cutting that wood veneer paper on my silhouettes. So I did try it. I tried it with a really sticky mat. I added washi tape, some extra washi tape, and I put it on a really heavy duty setting and had it double cut, and it kind of worked. You'll see here, also, the other thing that happened was my husband watched my YouTube video. My husband watches my YouTube videos now and then. How about that? And he was like, oh my goodness, you should cut guitars with that wood veneer paper on your silhouette, and then you could like ink them up and varnish them and make them look like guitars. And you know, my husband doesn't usually, my husband watched one of my YouTube videos and gave me an idea, so of course I was going to try it, right? So I did. I cut 2 hearts to use on my layout, and I cut 2 guitars, and it did kind of work. The funny part was the silhouette wouldn't really cut through the wood veneer all the way, but when I was taking off the mat, the wood veneer was like crumbling and just breaking. So I don't know. I think it has something to do with the wood grain. Maybe I needed to put the paper a different way or look at the way the wood grain went to make it cut better. I'm really not sure. But anyway, I'm going to use these 2 hearts on my layout, and then I'm going to go ahead and just ink them up. So there are middle parts, like middle little details in those hearts, and they didn't cut all the way through. So I just inked them up so that the ink kind of went in between where those cut marks would be to give the hearts some design and dimension. So I really wanted to use this background fringe paper for the background of my design, and I'm going to go ahead and use that 6x6 paper with the clouds as well. I cut 2 3-inch wide strips from this pink 6x6 paper pad, and I'm going to go ahead and just put it on the side of my page, and I'm inking everything in Vintage Photo Distress ink. So my idea was that I almost want to create a border down the side of my page here. And so this paper is this is a 6x6 sheet of paper, but for some reason it doesn't want to match up to 12x12. There's a little bit of a gap there, but that's not a big deal. I'm going to completely cover it. So after I made my fringe heart last week, I've been wanting to make more fringe. Fringe all the things. That's kind of been what I've been stuck on this past week. So I did this, I'm going to do this pink border down the side, and to cover up that gap, I'm going to grab this lighter shade of pattern paper here, and I'm going to fringe the edge. I'm not going to make you watch all this because it's tedious, so tedious. Who wants to sit there and watch me cut fringe for 12 inches? So now that's done, and I trimmed it up, and I'm going to add some Vintage Photo Distress ink to it. I chose that pattern paper because it had both the pinks that are in my papers and also the teal color, the minty teal color that's in the papers too. So I thought it was a good bridge pattern that combines all of the colors I wanted to use onto my layout. I'm just going to place it over that gappy part, and then I'm going to ruffle up the fringe a little bit, and then I'm going to take some of the gold washi tape from Maggie Holmes' Gather collection. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to tear it down the middle, and I'm just going to use 1/2 of this kind of to bridge the gap between the fringy paper and the pink paper. And it tore really cool this time. So some of those pieces don't have adhesive behind them. It's like the adhesive tore away from the gold, but then the gold was like really thin and it was kind of like crinkly. It looked really, really neat. And when the light hits it, it looks really cool. So I'm going to go ahead and put both my pictures right there. And then I'm going to add this 6x6 paper that has the clouds on it to the end. And I'm going to use that 6x6 paper just to kind of create a T-shaped layout or an L-shaped layout. And then I'm going to add my clusters and my titles. And this is going to be pretty easy pretty easy layout. I think the hardest part was pulling the wood veneer off of the silhouette map. So originally I thought that I would put both of my hearts right there and have it look like they're floating around the clouds, but I'm going to change my mind, and that bottom piece with the 2 hearts, that one's going to stay at the bottom, but that one's going to move over to here. So now I'm just grabbing a ton of embellishments from my homemade kits. I was thinking about using that piece of paper as well, but I really don't. I do want to use this vellum that has the gold flowers on it. This is just some scraps I have left of the Maggie Holmes vellum. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to cut some rectangles from it and place it at 3 different spots on my layout where I think I want to do some really good clusters and some really, really kind of big embellishment clusters with lots of just fun goodies in them. And so that's how I'm going to kind of start my layout, is by kind of sectioning off those 3 parts for my layout, and then I'm going to try to create, you'll see there, like I went 2 big clusters and then kind of have them come to a point at the other end of the page. So I took quite a while going through all of these die cuts and picking out the ones I wanted. I wanted to make sure there was a good bit of color, that there was yellow in each one of the clusters, that there was a little bit of pink in each one of the clusters. So I think I went through these die cuts a couple of times and just really pulled and picked and matched, and that little piece isn't going to make it to the layout at all. And then I'm going to work with my title a little bit, but well, first I'm going to pull florals. So I wanted to use, I love the Maggie Holmes florals, and I have a lot of them, and I just put a couple into my ephemera pack for this kit, but I'm going to go ahead and pull them all out, the pinks and the yellows, and I'm going to use them throughout the layout here. I did kind of cut out some of this because it did take a long time. Also, that little woman from the style board or open book, it's open book collection. I love her. That little librarian, she's super duper cute. And that's the last thing I have with her image on. And I really liked how it looked there. So it's a little random, but that's okay. And now I'm just going to continue to go ahead and go through everything. I decided this tag from the Shine collection is going to really help me with my titling. I'm going to cut it down a little bit and ink the edges, and it's going to help. It's going to be part of my title. So my title is going to be Hello Lovelies, and I'm going to use the gold letter stickers and that tag to create my title, which is what I'm going to do next, I believe. Maybe it's what I'm going to do next. Yeah. So there I am, just putting the little gold letters down to create my title. I wanted the letters to be interacting with the hello so that they looked like one whole piece. And then I'm going to stamp it with the date, with the month these photos were taken, which was July. That stamp is from Studio Calico, and I think it's the only thing from 8 months of getting Studio Calico kits that I kept and liked. Yeah, I didn't have a good experience with my Studio Calico membership, but that's a topic for another day. So now I went ahead and I decided I wanted to use my flares because I hadn't used them yet. They were part of my kit, but I'd used buttons a number of times, but not my flares. So I chose 3 flares that I really liked. I'm going to create little messy nests for underneath them, and I think I only do the first one to camera so you can see it and how I do it, and then the rest of them I edited out or did off camera, because see how my head was there? My head was in a lot of this when I was trying to glue stuff down and put the flares in, because I was leaning over just to see placement and different things. So I cut a good bit of that out, but this video still is about 10 minutes long, so it's okay that I cut it out. So I just did that, did the messy flares, attached all my embellishments, and that's pretty much where we're gonna go with this layout. The last little bit I'm gonna do is to sprinkle some gold color shine. This is my new bottle, and my new bottle is way waterier than my old bottle. Like, that mist is just like falling right out of that nozzle head. I don't know. It's like a little bit crazy mist, so I have to make sure to cover stuff because that one's like a watery. And my last bottle wasn't like that, so I think, did they change it maybe to try to make it easier to splatter? I don't really know. So that will complete this layout. I hope you've enjoyed this video, and I hope you'll be sure to check out Felicia, Christina, and Hannah's video, and we will be back with new kits next month. I'm so excited about these kits next month. They're beautiful. I'm so excited to use mine. And that will be my completed layout. Have a lovely day. I'd love for you to leave a comment, like, or subscribe. Let me know how I'm doing, and enjoy the rest of your Tuesday. Bye!